Yo guys, what's up? Hope everybody is doing fine. As always, working. So many new things we did in the last days, and I have to work for some projects. We updated the noise poison page a lot, like especially with products. Actually, if you're a music producer, then for sure check out the new virus samples, the new virus preset libraries from Cosmo and from me. I already released a couple of them quite successfully, and this is the first one by Cosmo. So,
and from hitting you, bro. Like, it's just blocks. Just deal with it. Are you fucking kidding me? This is like, this is the next level shit. Okay, then we are in. This is the Ziggy's playing there. This is my backdrops here, bro. Oh yeah. Tannoy speakers. We play on Tannoy speakers. Party on Tannoy speakers, bro. Full blast in the house with Tannoy speakers. Wait, I have more pictures. This is the last one. Then I have this one.
yo guys, what's up? I hope everybody is having a good day. And yeah, yesterday I was chatting to Peter, and as you could see, it's like he showed me a lot of the old pictures. It's funny how everything is intertwined basically. Because in this time, I mean, I was in a very different place in this time, but not too far, and it's really history, to be honest with you. Like the whole history, it's unfortunately unwritten, and the Psytrance world is not very efficient, I feel, when it comes to history. It's just like, oh yeah, I mean, we're not living 5000 BC. There should be substantial work done about this, and this gave me the idea to make a movie about this. And I'm actually not kidding you. I'm quite serious. There is tons of material which describes everything. A lot of the people who are responsible for the psychedelic culture today, they are still alive, obviously. And it's really so funny to hear the stories from them when they were younger. I mean, just if you look at the pictures that we are looking through there, even Peter is looking. It's so fascinating. I mean, look at him. He's so different today. But this stuff is important to me. It is really important to me. It's we last time figured out that I am more than half of my life. Noise poison is a part of my life. Like in the beginning, it was really funny because at first, obviously, I was just like a mind blown fan. I didn't even write music. I was an artist back then who did acrobatics and drawing. Those two things, like a fucking maniac. And for example, one friend of mine was not friend. Let's say friend. That's maybe a little bit too strong word, but somebody that I knew like quite well was Sato Arepo. Sato Arepo back in 2006, for example, he was already writing music, and I was not. I started 2 years later. Um, and yes, it's history, really. What happened back then is absolutely history, and nothing of that what you know today would exist without those people doing things. And I think like there's some really epic material inside there, which really should interest people and will interest people because it basically shows people like Kinzaza, Cosmo, Jabo, Uncle Donkle, in a time before they were fame. This is just, unfortunately, it is like this. In this time, there were just some dudes. And maybe some of them still are, but when I met them, they were not like I see them here in the photos. I don't know if it's about me, but they were not like in the photos. First of all, in the photos, they are 20 years younger, so, fuck that shit. But you see that? You see Kinzaza? And yeah, like what happened to the people? I ask myself like that. Turned the back on Peter when he was not feeling well because of obvious reasons. Like I don't know. When I see those pictures, and I know this motherfucking cunt. Okay, like Peter has some issues, but he's the best. He's such a lovely guy. Like, and tell me one artist, by the way, that doesn't have issues. Like, if we wouldn't have issues, we wouldn't be artists. That's for sure. Then we would do something else. Like, that is really, like, not even a joke. So, what do you think about if somebody is watching this video? I know right now nobody is watching, but maybe after the stream is over. What do you think about that idea? I mean, it's very feasible. I know about filming, for example, a little bit. Obviously, I'm not a professional filmmaker, but I have, substantial knowledge about art and about movies and about filmmaking also, and especially about being creative, not just talking about it, like actually being creative. And I would find it very, very, very interesting. The only problem is that the scene is so emotionally cluttered, or I don't know how to say, like that there are so many little fights and stuff going on in the background. Jabo, Bettina, Cosmo. I mean, for me it's just stunning because I saw them, I played with them, I even shared houses with them. Jabo almost never talked with me, to be honest, though, but yeah, because he was more on this family trip, and he was not looking like he does look on those pictures, that is for sure. Yeah. In the last days, by the way, I was working like a fucking horse. Like, literally, I was working like a horse on the websites, and now we have some new policies actually, but wait, I will talk about that later. But yeah, imagine this, okay, like you make you put down an outline for a movie where you are basically, how to say, reconstructing how this culture happened by visiting the people that created it in the first place, of which I said many of them are still around. So you could just like take a film crew that is consisting out of half volunteers and maybe half not, or even full volunteers, and then try to crowdfund it. I know like the crowdfunding on Patreon is not going the best, by the way. If you're inclined, then it would be amazing if you head over to patreon.com/noisepoison and have a look at it at least. There's tons of content. And yeah, imagine you crowdfunded, or it doesn't even matter. First of all, it's about the idea. Is the idea making sense? Is the idea valuable? Is the idea valuable for humanity in the long run? I'm talking about also in 100 years, in 50 years. Imagine we would have created one of the greatest piece of human culture ever, and then it would all get lost because nobody takes care about it and cares about it and cares to document about it. In every other scene, everything is well documented, I'm talking about all scenes, talking about like, really niche scenes like the early computer game industry or scene or the skate scene. It's the same thing, And somehow, in our case, it's not. Why is that? Like, first of all, okay, I understand that the psychedelic trance community got heavily commercialized, and there's just like this thing with totally commercial psychedelic music that lost all its soul and purpose for me. Even though it's in some cases nicely produced and everything, but if doesn't have any soul, then it's quite worthless for me. But anyway, imagine you manage it somehow that you get the production costs, let's say, I don't know, 50,000 euros, 30,000 euros, to make it really a proper movie, to not make it makeshift. Let's say you have the crowdfunding going on for that over Indiegogo or what, because you meet a good filmmaker or you know a good filmmaker, and with me as a creative director, you conceive the plan and you do it. And then, yeah, the team would basically travel together also with Peter, because I really believe that he's one of the key figures in this. Amongst others, obviously, like nobody creates culture by themselves. It's not really working like that, like it's always different strains of creativity. And then anyway, nobody invents music. This is like, ultimately it's like sacred patterns that are already in the universe, which we are just taking and showing you. So like, nobody invents music, so it's like always building up on other stuff. But nevertheless, there are some key figures in the world and in every creative outlet that just push the whole thing forward, and willingly or unwillingly. And for example, Peter is one of those people. Kinzada is one of those people. Tchaikovsky is one of those people. Furitz is one of those people. Funny that I say 3 Russian names just in, straight succession. But there are people that are pushing the whole culture forward, and I think it would make sense to talk to those people, like professionally with a team. That would be my dream, to have something that we can give to humanity for afterwards. Because this is culture. Don't get this wrong. This has nothing to do with, stupid drug parties or something like that. You need to see the psychedelic culture and even also the psychedelic trance culture as a whole. And then this is sacred culture. So this will be passed on to other generations one way or the other. And this will hopefully get documented, because that would be very important. Otherwise, the next generation is quite lost. And they cannot build upon this, what was created, as well as if we would preserve it in that ways. I mean, I started Sci Society out of that reason, for example. But it's pretty hard to monetize it. To just, document the culture. But yeah. So guys, definitely look into our new shop. We have some new policies for the shop. This is the thing that I actually wanted to tell you. And those shop policies are very, very easy. No matter where you're from, we got free shipping for you, okay? Doesn't matter where you're from. Just doesn't matter. I think there are like a handful of countries which we cannot deliver to, which is very unfortunate. But it's really just a handful. The rest of the world we are delivering to more than 250 countries, free of shipping. So whatever you see in any of the shops, it's free of shipping. Like, for example, you get this really fancy t-shirt, AOP print t-shirt, then 60 euro is what you will pay if you take it, I'm putting it into the basket. 60 euro is what I will pay. And that's a new concept that I think that's great. And that counts also for all the other online stores. Parandroid.net as well. The same story. On Parandroid.net, it's the same story, free shipping on everything. And I'm gonna see. I mean, like, if I'm losing money, I'm gonna change it. But this is the new policy. The new policy is just like straight up free shipping, full power, bro. And I think that really makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I will not show you the whole checkout process. It's pretty straightforward. What I'm gonna work on right now is like actually, like swipe. Although PayPal already supports credit card, I don't know why swipe is that important, but I guess like some other credit cards maybe or something like that. In Germany, credit cards are not very that popular or common. Yeah, this was one of those unannounced streams. Just a little morning stream to talk to you guys, although of course nobody is listening at the moment. Which I don't blame anybody for, because like obviously like this was like, it's unannounced. This is a small channel, the Noise Poison YouTube, which is growing just as every other channel. Like the Instagram channel is exploding actually. So it's growing quite fast and nicely, and there's a lot of response there. The YouTube channel. Okay, cool. That's cool. The YouTube channel obviously is small, but you can see that, I put some effort in really putting videos there already. Like a lot of the classics, which I don't think should get lost. And then also stuff like, for example, the last track that I uploaded, Juice, this one, it's... One Patreon told me about that, because he said like, wow man, this is very... And he normally likes faster tracks, so this is a 170 track. And is like a typical track that, just rots in a folder, like hundreds of other really good tracks that are just not, until release date, fixed until release date. But they actually have a super beautiful approach and some soul inside them that, that is irreplaceable. Like, good production is not replaceable by soul. You need to have both, but you minimum need to have soul. And it's kind of cool to exchange tracks with other people that we don't share, because it's tremendous how much work I didn't share. Also Peter, same thing. I'm trying to change that, of course, and find a way to, distribute everything, because all of this is music, all of this is art, and all of this is hundreds of hours and years of work. So it has to be, exchanged with someone. After all, this is also what we leave behind for humanity, as stupid as it may sound. So if it's incomplete and nobody takes care of it, can be that half of your life work will end up in the trash bin, like literally, like on a hard drive in a trash bin. So I was thinking about it, like how many years I was working and writing good tracks and not releasing them or sharing them, really, because it's a psychological issue. As a musician, you have always this fight going on, and there is no musician which really thinks that he's the greatest all the time. It's not like this. Even if they look like it, I can tell you honestly that it's not like this. Everybody's fighting with himself, with his own demons, and with himself, just like, to be, for example, to have Selbstvertrauen, what's the word for this? To really trust yourself and your ability. I don't know, it's always fluctuating. Like, I'm the greatest musician of all time, and then like, oh fuck, I'm the worst artist of all time, and everything what I did, why did I do it? I don't know. Like, there's this spectrum of feelings which is very prevalent with artists, I think. Yeah. Exactly. So the story with the movie, even if it would be a shitty movie, even then it would be worth it. But imagine you have those people. Sorry, I'm jumping around, but imagine if you have a crew of people. Let's say maybe of 5. You need minimum 5. People that hold the lights, volunteers, help with the setup. You need minimum one editor and a good one, that's for sure, because no good movie happens without a good editor. And I'm not a professional editor, although I know how to edit, but that's just like two pairs of shoes. Yeah, one person is giving his life to become a good editor, and me, I'm just like, I know editing. That's two different things. But I would find it a beautiful thing, and probably also very consolatory or something like that. Like, because there are some tensions in the scene, like, this could be a way to bring people together. Like, I'm always surprised how negative some people are, yeah, towards things. And I'm just really trying my best. This is what I do. Like, and I'm always like everybody that is in public. Obviously, I'm getting a little bit of shit for it. Always, like I can do the greatest thing in the world, like pure of heart and everything. But some people will think that you're doing something bad or that you have something bad in mind. That's just like the nature of social media and public beings, I guess. But yeah. So a movie, yeah. I mean, this would be a long-term project, and first of all, how do you do it? I mean, if you either you have the people, like if they are just like people who are amazing and know what they're doing, and let's say like in a week there is an editor writing me that works professionally, like for with creativity and professionalism, and he likes the idea, and he thinks, man, Samuel, I think you're really onto something. This is really something what humanity needs, and this is what I believe. Funnily, I really do believe that this is what would be the right thing to do. It's not only like, oh, that would be fun. No, it's actually the right thing to do for the generations that come after us, because we're gonna die. Sorry to break the news, but all of us going to die at some point. And so one job for us is to preserve this beautiful thing that we did for generations to come. And it's a singular phenomenon. Like, culture is constantly evolving and changing. So for example, there's only one period in humanity where you had this super high-end classic. Now, where it was core of the culture. Now it still exists, but it's not the core of the culture, and you don't have Mozart sitting in his quote-unquote studio and writing music. And the same thing is with the psychedelic culture. The psychedelic culture is just the same thing. It's a singular phenomenon in the timeline. And there will be maybe more impressive cultures in the future, but it is right now, like it can happen that this is going away and that it stays away for quite some time, for example, could also be, or that it changes to a degree, which it already has, to be honest, where it's getting hard to recognize. I'm not talking about the music, because the music is not the important thing. The important thing is the culture. Like, it really like broke apart in many places. Um, mhm. Yeah, I also was thinking about one thing which is called noise poisoning couch. And this would have been actually what I did yesterday with Peter, while we are just talking about certain themes, like for example the past, some really crazy happenings or things that happened in our career, which there are plenty of. I mean, we traveled, all the world. We were over the world, and mostly booked by insane people. So you see a lot of shit, and wouldn't it be cool to just hang around? I mean, you have Motem now, which is doing a lot of what I said, or is also like in this field of documentation. It's the same thing like Sci Society. It's like a tool of documentation. In the case of Sci Society, it's an online quote unquote magazine. Motem is a live stream thing. And this stuff is quite important that somebody is doing it. There's just not enough. I mean, a lot of things are just like rotten to the core. For example, Trans Central, those are not cultural outlets. They are 100% commercial outlets. So that means it has nothing to do, with journalism, and also nothing to do with pure culture, because it's just an advertisement medium. That's it. You go there, you pay, they push it. And now they make this shop where they have, quite exchangeable clothes, if you ask me. But yeah, like for example, this one. I mean, this is just lazy. This is lazy. Sorry, guys. This is just taking a file, taking a PNG file, and putting it into the program. There is no composition or anything going on. So you have those commercial layouts, but they are pretty useless. We need stuff like Motem or like Sci Society or things like that, that in core are just trying to document and not make money. In the first place, they still need to survive and make some money. That's why I also opened the shop on Sci Society, obviously. But this is not the core of the idea. The core of the idea is preservation of culture. So you will find a lot about, psychedelics, psytrance, and psychedelic culture. And this stuff needs to be supported, but people, they don't. I don't know. It's not easy, I can tell you. I mean, selling is one thing that you can do. That's no problem. But crowdfunding is not an easy thing. Yeah, thanks, bro. As I said, this is like one of the tracks that would have gone down under, like it's like, and there's many of them. There's super many of them. Like, too many. I want to give them to the Patreons because actually it's interesting to get feedback from the people. And somehow I stopped using SoundCloud. For some reason, I don't know. I just like, it doesn't appeal to me anymore, and I just do not like it anymore. I liked it back in the day, but I don't like it anymore. So once again, also like on this shop, on all my shops, we have free shipping now on all of them. Parandroid.net and noisepoison.net and scysociety.net. And I don't know if I can do this for a long time, because maybe there will be a lot of orders from, I don't know, some really far away place. But even then, to be honest, I don't know. Like, I think it's so much more easy. Like, there are very sophisticated, systems to set up your shipping. And it's quite complicated, and you can make it really sophisticated. But why? When you can just say free shipping. Just very easy to understand policy. Whatever you're going to buy, we're going to ship it to you for free. Whatever you're going to put into your bin, in your basket, it's going to be the same price at checkout, or less if you have a coupon code. So yeah. And in the last days I was working literally like 12 to 14 hours. I'm not even exaggerating. I want to change the web design of Noise Poison also. I don't know if you noticed. Before that, this was like fully animated with video and stuff, and it looks quite impressive, I have to say. But websites, let's face it, they're not about only looking impressive. They're about, working properly. Like, there are all those different systems and things that have to really snap. And it's not about having a fancy video running in the background that makes the page load like crap. No lighter. Quickly have to get a lighter. But yeah, first of all, I'm super happy also that Niklas came back. Niklas was one guy that was helping me with the web design. He's a super cool dude. I really like him. Peter also really likes him. And he's just a super nerd. Like, just focused on web design. So, like, I learned shit tons about web design in the past years. Like, a lot. Like, SEO and shit like that. But he is so behind it because it's his job. He's working for agencies and he loves to support this. And he understands what we are doing. I mean, like, we sit in our studio all our life and work very much. I mean, in many cases, like for many years, any musician did. And that's all fine and dandy, but you know, it's like you should really support artists because don't think that they have it easy. Like even the quote unquote successful ones, none of them has it easy. Like 99%, and if they have it easy, they only have it easy for a short time or for a relatively short time. It's not an easy life in no respect, not monetarily and not in any other way. It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of attacks, it's a lot of everything, you know, like, and when I see people treating artists with utter disrespect and the lack of understanding what they did, you know, then I'm really surprised because they cannot fully grasp what artists living and how much they are giving to the community by just like sitting and working and working and working and working and pouring their love into their work because nobody sits in their studio, you know, like and puts hate into his music. Or I'm not doing that, at least, really not. Like yesterday I talked about it with Cosmo. It's like I know that I'm utterly imperfect as a human being, especially when it comes to, you know, like handling other people and things like that. But in the moment when I'm making music, I feel like I'm free. So it's a very pure energy most of the time. It can be an exhausting energy. It can be like a drug trip, basically. But nevertheless, I feel utterly free. I feel like I am in the place where I should be. I feel like I'm doing what I am supposed to. So really support artists. I'm not even talking about me, I'm not even talking about the label, I'm talking about in general. Support people who spend their lives doing this. And I'm talking about serious artists, by the way, not DJs, because there has to be drawn a differentiation, you know. I can teach you DJing in, Peter said 5 minutes. I said in a weekend I can do it properly. And I have full respect for DJs, but it's just not the same thing. And either you're a producer or you're a DJ. And if you're a DJ, you are a DJ. That's, you know, that's the thing. Don't confuse yourself or don't let yourself be confused with a producer because you are not that person who is bleeding, okay? Like, or sweating in the studio, like all the time. No, you're not. Maybe you select a lot of music, you love the music, etc. This I respect. And I respect good DJs and I respect good DJs that put a lot of time into it and deliver amazing experiences for the people and connect to them on another level. I also have the possibility to just share amazing variety of music. I mean, instead of just playing your story, you can create a new story out of other stories. Don't get me wrong, I fully respect DJs. I just don't think you should ever confuse them with a producer because those are two things. So especially the producers, the hardcore producers which are building the scene by creating the culture, those are the ones you need to support. They don't have it easy. Like, not psychologically, not monetarily, not on any level. Not socially also. Because you cannot be a fully intact social being and a music producer at the same time. It's just virtually impossible. Like, not possible. You need to be somewhat asocial or dissocial to be an artist. There are very many nuances and artists can be anything, but in general you could say that and you can see it in many people. Those old pictures. There are some pictures from Furious, like he looks so like a zombie in some of the pictures, like so white. But I am the white dude normally, so I shouldn't say anything. Look at this early young Kinshasa, isn't it? I find it really funny to see the guys like this. I mean, I know them since quite a while, and I cannot say that Kinshasa is my best friend or anything like that. We don't have any issue. We never had any. But I never was as close as, for example, Peter was to those people. But then Peter is also like a really lovely guy. So, and for me, it's always funny to see those young versions of the artists, like Jabo also, and Bettina, you know, and, all those people who now got quite a bit older, but are still around, and they changed a lot in many cases. This is Cosmo and Kinshasa studio where they wrote "If it's too fast, you're too old" in Berlin. You know, this is history. I am serious, man. This is history. Too many people don't know the old stuff and how genius this was. This was before there were stars, also. This you need to realize as well. It changes stuff when you become successful. It really does. They were just some dudes in Goa, I mean. You know, not so much ego around back then, looks like. It maybe just looks like probably there was massive amounts of ego around, I don't know. But look at this picture. Ah, look at this fucking eyes. I really like Peter. I know him since such a long time, and he has such good sides. He really has. Like he has a really pure side in a way. Really, he does. Like he has many sides or many facets, like many human beings. But he can be just a lovely guy. And yeah, it's 60 GB of old photos and videos. So like this would be super base material for a documentary. Like would be a super amazing material because then you could just like fill this up and show it to the people. Basically show to the footage to the people where they are on the footage, and then ask him about what they feel about those times. And believe me, they would just like start to talk like crazy. Ah, in my opinion, the best way to support artists is really first of all to give them emotional support because they need it. As I said, like it's very common that they are, um, not always thinking that they are the greatest, and they also like it's a little bit like anorectic people, for example. They look into the mirror and they see a fat person, although they're almost dying from how skinny they are. It's the same thing with music. You can write a beautiful track, but don't realize it and think it's shit. And so give them a good feeling. Support them just by telling them that you appreciate what they are doing, if you do. This is really important. This doesn't cost money also. Really be an ambassador for the artists that you like. You know, defend them, promote them, share the music, buy the music. This is the next step then. Like, I totally understand that not everybody has a lot of money, so this is a thing. If you love music, buy the music. It's beautiful to have original music, and you're gonna value it much more like this, I believe. And then there is, in our case, for example, go to Patreon. If you are a Noise Poison fan, then you can get really exclusive things. You're gonna get early access rebate, and you get the news demos and just background stuff, and you can talk to us directly. So this is, I think, a very modern and contemporary good way to support artists. In our case, we have the shop. where we offer stuff for everybody. Music producers, which is samples and stuff like that. Clothes that are very beautiful and unique, that you cannot get anywhere else. Sorry. So just buy the products from the artist, obviously, that helps the artist to survive. This is the most easy thing, and very easy to understand. So, like, those main things. Like, if you really can support them monetarily, do that, because they will need it. All artists, like, you know. And if you can't, then support them with your vibe, with your positive words, with your support, with sharing their videos, and just giving them a good feeling about what they're doing. This is what I would say, I think. Yeah. And then there's StanMe, for example. There's a new website where you can somehow support artists, but it's a complete fail for me. I registered and I immediately got locked out of my account. Or did I? Ah, yeah, I tried to connect the Stripe and it didn't work. So, those things you can really do easily. Supporting somebody is the easiest way. I would say, like, you know, as I said, mentally and monetarily, every little thing helps. Every track that you buy from the artist, every merchandise article that you buy from the artist, every video that you share from the artist, also every comment that you make under his video. This is all the ways how you can support artists, I believe. And then those communities like Patreon, those people, they are supporting us not only monetarily, to be very honest with you. They are also giving us feedback and, you know, about everything, about our music. They tell us if they like some of the stuff that we share with them. They talk with us about our ideas. I'm planning to do a Patreon live chat soon, even if there's just like a couple of people there yet, and I really hope to grow it. But I think 15 people is already enough to do a live chat with them. And so they support us by just being there, basically. It's in the beginning, obviously, but I really plan to be behind it from now on. Yeah. Yeah. Also on Noise Poison, we have those new t-shirts. Did I put the albino one out yet on Noise Poison? I think not. Yeah, we have one from albino as well. And a hoodie. Love this one. I think I'm gonna get it. Or I'm gonna get the hoodie, I think, but I have so many hoodies and t-shirts. But yeah. Free shipping, guys. So as I said many times, t-shirts start at 20 euros. Those ones are more expensive because they are very complicated to make. They are handmade and have to be cut and sewed. So first printed and then cut and sewed. Just so you understand, because you could say, wow, that's quite expensive for a t-shirt, but there's a big difference. T-shirt is not just like any other t-shirt. It's like there are different ways to make this. Like something like this, 20 euros, no problem. And something like what I just showed you right now, this really minimum, absolute minimum, with almost no money earned, 50 euros, 60 euros. And then like you are barely making money. It's like not that you're making a lot of cash on it. But I'm trying to think like Jeff Bezos, you know? Like, sometimes you have to invest and lose money to make money. Yeah, this one, for example, is based on 3 different artworks by Giga. And obviously also other things are changed, but yeah. That's not just simply taken an artwork by Giga, and also you need everything in super high resolution. Like some of those images are 30,000. I had one the other day which I couldn't even save because it was so big that it reached a file size that could not be handled. And this was 30,000 pixels. You know, that's an image where you can like zoom into the last little detail. I don't know how many megapixel that is, but a lot. And I'm working on a lot of new designs. Like, I mean, I studied art. Many people don't know that. But I did other things apart from music. So I studied this stuff. It's just like, how much time do I put into it? Casso, exactly. Casso was the last one that I did. Yeah, this is the last one that I did. That is actually not less psychedelic, let's say, but it looks so beautiful on skirts or on dresses. Or on the bathing suit. Yeah, exactly, there it is. It just does look very beautiful on dresses. Like, beyond psychedelic. I mean, you can wear this on a psychedelic party, but you really don't have to. You could just wear it on a night out, for example. Yeah, a lot of details in this one as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in a couple of days, by the way, we play on this Burning Man party. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm gonna put out some information about that. Okay. Love you guys. I see you guys soon.